morning, everybody, and Happy New Year. Welcome to the first Network Admin Life video of 2023. I got it. Yeah, new year, new problems. So, looking forward to digging into those. Well, first of all, grace and peace to you from our Lord Jesus Christ and all the saints here in cloudy California. We've got a little bit of weather system moving through. You may have heard about California and its weather lately, and the raining and the flooding, and not a whole lot of flooding in my part of California. Yeah, there's some rain. We're gonna have scattered showers today, but that's gonna be it. So, yes, there is localized flooding here in California, but it's mostly just, sorry about the lighting, mostly just big puddles on the side of the road, or that go out into the road. Although there are some areas that are definitely, we got rivers coming into the highway and that sort of thing, but none of it near my workplace or where I live. So we're good here. So we got some pretty interesting projects coming up in the first part of the year. First of all, we're doing budgeting right now, so we're having to come up with ideas and quotes for the lovely and talented network admin boss. Things we want to get done this year, things we want to more projects. Big focus on security this year, so most of our budgeting is going to be towards that. The budget I have is going to be a project to implement, more fully implement our NAC product. So we're going to engage professional services to come in and really set it up nicely for us. So the budgeting is happening, and one thing we also have happening is the big project that's coming up is we're going to redo our routing, and that's coming up in 2 weeks. So we have an engineer from Extreme Networks is going to actually perform this on site. He's basically the engineer that designed our network as it is right now. So he's going to be on site performing the changes. We're going to have a couple other network engineers on site from Extreme Networks. So I'm going to try to do some pretty good coverage of that and what's going on. Since he'll be on site, I'll have more time to walk around and film things. Where the last two maintenance events we've had with them, my boss is making me do all the typing, so I can't really YouTube it or record it at all because I'm just too busy, doing what 5 different people are telling me to do. Do this, do that, do that, and they're all saying it at once. It's like, okay, all right. So anyway, since he's going to be doing all the typing, I'm hoping to be able to bring you, a blow-by-blow coverage of all of that. What goes on, and I'll also see if I can do a quick introduction of the engineers that are going to be there, so you can meet some of the Extreme Networks people. So that's coming up. That's actually going to be broken up into 2 maintenance events. There's going to be one in January and then one in February. So we'll see how that goes. But that's the big ones. That's, to me, the biggest one coming up. When we've got, you recall, we just finished one little wireless. I won't really call it a project. It was more of a task, but it kind of turned into a project. It was the 802.1x authentication for clients on this new wireless network we just put up. That's working very well. We got clients just joining the network like they're supposed to, and we've got, I don't know, a couple hundred clients out there, and only 45 have shown up so far. It just shows you how often people are logging off and logging on these things. They just leave them logged on and don't do anything, never log off. So over the next month or so, I'll be monitoring that and making sure that's working correctly. And then the other thing, so the other big wireless project we have coming up is we're going to implement new wireless controllers. So our, I believe they're already at end of life. but not end of support. They're still supporting them, but they're end of life. They're virtual controllers, so they run in our ESX environment, so there's really no hardware to replace. It's just downloading a new OVA file, and which I believe they're basically Linux machines. These machines trace their heritage all the way back to Siemens, when Siemens made wireless network. I believe it was the HiPath, Siemens HiPath. So anyway, we're going to download these new ones, implement these new controllers, and then come up with a strategy to migrate the APs over to the new controller, which I think for me it's just going to be, we've got two methodologies we could use. We could just do them like geographically, like one floor at a time, different floors of the hospital. But I don't know. We may just mix and match and just move APs one at a time, or in groups at a time, and just force the clients. If they roam from an AP that's on the old controller to an AP that's on the new controller, they'll just have to re-authenticate, and that should be invisible to the user. So we haven't decided which exactly methodology we're going to use. I love that phrasing. Which exactly? Which methodology to use, but we'll figure that all out. So that's that wireless project. I'm trying to think what else we got coming up. Yeah, that's the two big ones. That's the routing change is what's keeping me up at night. Even though I don't have to lift a finger, Extreme is going to come in and do it. But I really care about my environment and my users, and I don't want there to be much downtime. So anyway, that's what we got coming up in the next few weeks. The content should get a lot more interesting other than just me sitting here talking about what I'm doing. We'll actually be showing you what I'm doing. And yeah, so I'm here in the garage today because really nothing happened at work this week. It was still basically another vacation week. There's still a lot of people out because of the New Year's holiday. So really didn't get a whole lot done. I continued working on multi-factor authentication on the Palo Alto. We've got it working, but it's either everything or nothing. So when we tried to implement it just for me, just for my user account, it implemented for everybody, which is not good because I need to test it for a little bit, see how it works, make screenshots and user documentation and all that good stuff. I can't do that if we turn it on for everybody. So we don't want to do that. So that's the only thing I really did this week is continue on multi-factor authentication. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I got nothing else to talk about. So hey, let's look at standing behind me here is Network Admin 1, the official flying machine of Network Admin Life. So since I have no more technical content, I thought maybe I'll just show you guys what this thing is, what it looks like. So this is a powered parachute. There's the pilot seat right there. And the way these guys work is they're very simple to fly, very simple to control, actually. Where's the camera? There it is. Once you get in, belt it out, well, first, you set up the parachute, you lay it out behind the aircraft, just lay it out flat and nice. Make sure none of the lines are tangled or anything like that. So it doesn't sit there the whole time. Usually that's just open space. Actually, it's another seat, but having two seats on this is illegal, so that's not a seat. It's a baggage compartment. Yeah, that's it, a baggage compartment. So you get that all laid out, and you start the machine up. You have to use Fred Flintstone brakes. There is one brake on the front wheel, but it's not enough to hold this thing when the engine's running. You have to put your feet down on the ground. There's the brake shoes. Reach back, pull this guy to start it, and hope it starts. And once it gets started, and you're all ready to go, you basically got two ways of controlling it. Well, yeah, two ways. Three ways on the ground. So on the ground, there's this stick right here. all that does is turn that front wheel. That's all it does. It doesn't do anything when you're up in the air flying. To steer while you're flying, you put your feet on these things. These are called rudder bars. And they basically just, if you've ever, got any idea how a parachute works, you pull on one toggle to turn one way, you pull on the other toggle to turn the other way. Same principle, except you're pushing with your feet rather than pulling with your hands or your arms. That'll turn you right or left. To go up or down, you've got this black lever over here. It's called a throttle. So if you want to go up, you push it forward, give it more throttle, more gas. You want to go down, you pull it back, give it less. And that's all there is. You don't have to try to keep it upright. Pendulum effect keeps you're basically hanging from the parachute, so it's very stable unless it's windy, and then it's very frightening. One thing I really like about these things is how easy they are to work on, because the motor is like right here out in the open. You can get to everything you need to. You can adjust the carburetors or replace the fuel hoses or whatever you need to do. It's super, super simple. And I usually do replace the fuel hoses once a year. When I bought it, it came with the little plastic fittings here. And you see these fittings now, these T's are all brass. I do that because I change these tubings out once a year, and the plastic just not holding up. And all you gotta do is put little zip ties on there. That holds them on nice and firm. And that's really the only maintenance needed on it. It's a two-stroke engine, so you got to add two-stroke oil to the fuel. Fuel tank is right down there. Am I seeing it? Yeah, it's down there. There it is. Super simple to operate, as long as you get the mixture right. The other thing you can do is adjust the pitch of the propeller. So if you need a little bit more thrust, you can change the pitch a little bit. If you need a little less, usually you can tell if you get the pitch right by your max RPM. So no matter where you are, and that's going to change on your altitude. You'll have to adjust your RPMs a little bit, and you can also go into the carb and like change jets and needles and things like that, which starts getting complicated even for me, because I am not a gearhead. So what I do is I just change the pitch of the propeller a little bit, to get the RPMs right where I want them. And get this big hoop thing here is basically to keep all the propeller lines out of the all of the parachute lines out of the propeller, because that would be bad. And got this little red sock thingy here that's just basically keeps the prop from spinning when I'm towing it on that trailer out there down the road to the airport. This will start spinning and it'll start trying to pump fuel overboard, and we don't want that. So I keep that on there to keep it from spinning. And other than that, I just I tow it with the truck to a little local airport, and there's the truck out there. Tow it to the airport and take it flying. And I have not flown it since I came down with vertigo. I did try to fly it about 2 or 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And it's perfect weather, perfect evening for it. And just as I'm getting set up on the runway, an airplane comes in and wants to land. And then he took forever to taxi back. And sorry about the view there. Took forever to taxi back, and then by the time he was done taxiing, it was too late. I had to go. So anyway, that's what we got going on this week. That's what we got going on coming up, and that's my flying machine, which I've talked about before, but in case you're new to the channel now, you can see what it looks like. I'm probably going to be flying my friend's airplane before I fly this, so we'll try to do an airborne update, or if not, at least a post-airborne update. And that's about it. So stay tuned. The content's going to get a lot better, I promise. It's kind of boring right now, but we will be getting better. So as always, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble on here. If you did, God bless you. Click the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up if you thought it was good, and if you didn't, just move along. Go watch something else. There's plenty of bikini try-on hauls to watch. So there, if you're bored of me, you can always go watch those. So anyway, yep. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys all next week. God bless. Bumblebee, bumblebee, bumblebee. Bzz.